So, as you know, in SAT, and when you enter, you're gonna start with English. You have two modules. Each module, 32 minutes. Billahi, billahi, that we have 27 questions. Start from number 27 till 1, not the opposite. Wallahi, to manage your time. I tried by myself, solving in the same test. Solving from 1 till 27 is harder than solving from 27 till 1. 27 till 1 is easier. The order in each module, just to know, the first module, it will come as individualized. So everyone will have a different test, not the same. But it will be the level the same. Like if the test start with level 3, your test also is going to start with level 3. Other test is going to start with level 3, but with different context and different skills. So the test order is like that. They were going to start with domain 2, then domain 1, then domain 4, then domain 3. Then the order. Domain 2, domain 1, domain 4, domain 3. So because of that, I told you start from domain 3 till domain 2. Domain 3 that relate to the rhetorical synthesis and transition. Domain 4, the conventional standard English, the boundaries and form, sense, and structure. Domain 1, information and ideas. Domain 2, the craft. Let's find each domain. As we said that the English, two modules. Module 1, 32 minutes. Then after you solve, ودي حقيقة. If you solve most of the question right, module 2 is going to be hard. Not hard that all of the question are going to be level 3. No. You're going to find that the text of each question start to be longer. يعني احنا عارفين ان السؤال بياخد 1 minute 20 seconds. لا، هتلاقي التكست وكلمات صعبة وكلمات رزلة وحاجات رهيبة كده. But it's the same skill. Don't be afraid. It's the same skill that we solved with. If you're gonna use the same way, you're gonna find that it's easier. Forget about that it's longer or shorter. طب what will happen if you solve in module 1? Most of the questions are wrong. Module 2 is gonna be easier. You're gonna find that the text between 2 to 3 lines only, or 2 to 3 sentences. There's a fact. So, as you can find here, in DSAT, when we started together in the basics, then when the advanced, and we start revising all the domain, we said that we have two domains relate to reading, two domains relate to writing. The two domains relate to reading is domain 1 and domain 2. The two domains relate to writing, domain 3 and domain 4. Again, I'm going to repeat, it's better to start from 27 till 1. Let's talk about the first domain that will come in the test. It's words in context. Words in context. And we said that words in context is better to use the connotation before the denotation, before the meaning. Why? Because the connotation is going to be like that. Maybe you have three choices that they are positive, one that is negative. So like that, I'm going to say the odd one out is going to be the negative. But you have to be sure to return to the text. You have to be sure to return to the text. Whenever you have, even if there is one answer that is neutral, you have to go to the context. Then after that, you have the context clue. We said definition, explanation, synonym, antonym, cause and effect. All of these are context clue. Another skill in domain 2 is structure and purpose. It had 3 questions. The main purpose, we said that we're going to read the first sentence, a last sentence. Then you start eliminating the answers. If you find that there is more than one answer that's gonna be accepted, read the whole text, but don't return to the eliminated one. لأن لو رجعت eliminated one هتختار منهم يا شباب. خلي بالك. For the structure, we said that the answer consists of parts. طب أعرف منين؟ هتلاقي commas and أو comma then. So here you're gonna read the first sentence of the text and the first sentence of the first part of the answers, and match which one will match. You're gonna find 2, 3. You're going to eliminate at least one. So in that case, you're going to read the rest of the text and go to the parts after, but don't go to the eliminated. The last one is the function of the underlined sentence. And here you have to read a sentence before and sentence after. طيب تخيل a sentence before, there is a missing part that I don't understand. Take the sentence before it. No problem. The last skill in domain 2 is cross-text connection. Yeah, you have two texts and will ask you about the similarities, the differences, or how one text reply to another. طبعا similarities and differences, the order is not important. But how one text reply to another is so important. That was domain 2. طيب يا دكتور تامر, all the questions of the skills are gonna come in the two domains? No. يعني انت ممكن تلاقي في domain 1 you don't have cross text connection. Module 1 you don't have cross text connection. In module 2 maybe you're not gonna find all these three, or you're gonna find only one of them. So not all the skills and sub skills are gonna be covered in one module, but they're gonna cover in both modules. Let's go after domain 2, we come to domain 1, that called information and ideas. Domain 1 has three skills. Evidence, that has three sub-skills. Scientific, how I know it, if it's written, if true. He will ask you to support or illustrate, or weaken. Support or illustrate, you're gonna be with. Weaken, you're gonna be against. And in that case, it will ask you to support, illustrate, or weaken a hypothesis. So search for hypothesize. A conclusion, search for conclude. An argument, search for argue. It's easy. But the main thing, if you find that the sentence that you highlight, it has keyword that you don't understand them, read the whole text. But you want to support or weaken or illustrate the one that you highlighted. Then the second sub-skill of the evidence is literary. How we know it? From the quotation. Quotation. What he want? Again, he want to support, illustrate, or weaken. The same thing. But here quotation. Again, support, illustrate, or weaken a claim, so search claim. Hypothesis, search for hypothesis. The same thing. But the only difference here, sometimes it's gonna tell you illustrate the claim, but you're not gonna find the verb claim. When you find here, look at the first sentence. If it's introduction, introducing the story or the novel or the literary part, forget about it and take from the second sentence. The last sub-skill, quantitative. How I know it? You're gonna find graph, you're gonna find a table. Here again, he's gonna ask you to support or weaken. The same thing, but no illustrate. The new thing, he's gonna ask you to complete. When he asks you to complete, look at the last sentence. When I'm gonna look before or the whole text, if there is a missing part that you don't understand. Second skill, the main idea and details. And the main idea is gonna ask you what is the main idea. Here again, like the main purpose, read the first sentence, last sentence, and start finding the answer. If you find that more than one answer that isn't gonna be accepted, read the whole text, but don't return to the eliminated. And a detailed question that look like reading comprehension. Direct question according to the text. So here you have to read the whole text. حتى لو لقيت الانسر يا شباب, you have to read it the whole text, because maybe he just want to deceive you by a wrong answer. The last skill in domain 1 is inferences, most logically. And here you have to read the whole paragraph and make a summary after you read the whole text and find the thing that is repeated. If the answers have something that out of topic, cancel it. The answer will come from the text itself. It's inferences. Now, we'll go to where are the other domains? Don't tell me that I make only, okay. Let me just make the other domains for writing. Then after domain 1, it will come domain 4. And as you know that domain 4 is talk about conventions. تقريبا انا شرح الدومين 4 في حتة تانية. طيب معلش خليني to cancel this and look at domain 4 and domain 3 in another board. Bismillah. Okay, I think this one. Bismillah. It's the same thing, but it has domain 4 here. Domain 4 is the convention of standard English. It has two skills: form, sense, and structure, and boundaries. How I know that it's boundaries? You're gonna find in the choices the same words. The only thing that is different is punctuation, adding punctuation or canceling punctuation. For the form, sense, and structure, it has five sub-skills: subject verb agreement, verb forms, pronoun and sentence agreement, modifier, and possessor. And you know the modifier, when the choices are long, this is modifier. We know about possessive. We said when we have two nouns that come after each other, two nouns that come after each other. The first noun, it must end with apostrophe s or s apostrophe. Take care that any noun that has apostrophe s or s apostrophe, we call it possessive noun, cannot be a subject at all. It cannot be an object of a preposition at all. It cannot be an object at all. If there is a verb or a preposition between the two nouns, don't put apostrophe s or s apostrophe to the first noun. Like here, dogs is wrong. What about the verb forms and subject verb agreement? You know the subject verb agreement, you're going to have verbs. So whenever you find verbs, think about subject verb agreement and verb forms. How I know that it's not subject verb agreement? That you're going to find a verb that can be for plural or singular. Like welcome. Welcome can be for singular or plural. So whenever you find a choice can be for singular or plural, think about that this is verb forms. The verb forms will come about the tenses, consistency. And you have to look at the text to find which tense is repeating. Sometimes in the choices, it will come on a different tense. Depends on the sentence itself if it has a keyword different from the sentence before and after. In the verb form, sometimes he will bring for you something that is not a verb. And we said anything that has ing, verb ing without helping verb is not a verb. To plus verb is not a verb. And we said that yesterday. For subject verb agreement like this one, if I give you choices like this, are, have, where, has, so the answer is gonna be has. Why? Because singular, and all of these are plural. For the modifier, you know that the modifier starts the sentence, then a comma, then the subject. As we said, the subject will never end with apostrophe s or s apostrophe. The subject will never come after a preposition. The subject will never be those words. There, here, this, that. It must be clear noun or a pronoun. Then we have the boundaries. The boundaries, the comma, the semicolon, the full stop, the comma. Let's agree that if you find comma fanboys or semicolon, full stop, they are the same. What come before them independent, what come after them independent. اللي احنا قلناه ايه؟ Subject, verb, comma, conjunction, subject, verb, subject, verb, semicolon, subject, verb, subject, verb, full stop, subject, verb. So all of them are the same. So whenever you find them in the choices, cancel them. But you have to be sure that it's not semicolon. How I know? Look at the sentence that had the missing part from the full stop to the full stop. If you find another semicolon, so it can be semicolon. But if you can't find, so cancel the three of them or the two of them. Okay. If you find a dependent alone, we cannot. Dependent cannot stand alone. Independent, dependent, independent, dependent, take care of that. Nothing between them. Dependent, independent, put comma. Sometimes here we put comma here when this dependent is a relative clause. Start with who, which, whose, whom, if they are not essential. But that will never preceded by a comma. That will never preceded by a comma. After the subject, comma, before the verb, comma. After the subject, dash, before the verb, dash. After the subject, nothing, before the verb, nothing. The modifier or the prepositional phrase. If it start a sentence, we put comma after, then the subject, the verb. If it come in the middle, you can put comma before it and after it if it's not essential. If it come at the end, put comma before it. If it doesn't modify the word, come before it. Take care of the list. If we have two in a list, no commas. Ahmed and Muhammad. But if you have more than two in the list, Ahmed, comma, Mana, comma, and Ali. Here you put commas. The last domain that will come in the test, domain 3. It has transition and rhetorical synthesis. So we start with vocabulary, end with the rhetorical synthesis. The transition, we know that the word. مين اللي كتب you was the best mister ده؟ حتى كده غلط الله يسامحك. Okay. The transitions we have words وحطيت برضو notes على transition that they have function. So the first thing you must find the function of each transition. Why? Because if you have two transitions that they have the same function, you can put them aside. هنا مش هنكنسل. Put them aside. لأن في السيكونس قلنا after و before هم sequence. لكن after و before what come before this is different from what come before that. Take care that that is a transition. ده في حتة رهيبة هنا في الباوندريز. اوف كنت هنساها. كنت هنساها. معلش. دي يعني اساس الله. ده انا مش عارف اكتب يا شباب معلش. طيب عارفين الترانزيشن؟ ساعات هو مش سؤال ترانزيشن وسؤال باوندري زي كلمة however. انا مش عارف اكتب هنا بس يعني بسم الله خليني كده ابص اللي انا اقدر اكتب. مش قادر. طيب يا شباب لو عندي however and it's a simple sentence. يعني ايه simple sentence؟ يعني في subject و verb مفيش two sentences. ممكن يبقى subject verb verb او subject subject verb او subject subject verb verb. اهم حاجه ان هي simple وفيها however او transition فيها هنا. فلو جت transition في الاول لو however نحط كوما وبعد كده subject verb. طب لو جه في النص ما بين السبجكت والverb هيبقى subject كوما however كوما verb. ده simple. طب لو عندنا compound sentence يعني عندنا subject verb و however between them in that case is gonna be subject verb. نسمع كوما فان بويز او سيمي كولن او فول ستوب بعد كده transition اللي هي however او moreover او whatever then comma then the subject verb. لازم نحط قبل الترانزيشن سيمي كولن او كوما فان بويز والفول ستوب عشان to do independent. طيب يس رهف.
لسه can you mention كنا يعني امتى كنا بنعمل كوما transition semicolon او العكس؟
طيب انا مش عارف اعمل ايه بس خليني. هو بيقول لي
لا
ستارت.
عادي حتى لو يعني كلام بس مش كتاب.
خليني بس اصبري عليا. اصبري عليا. هو فتح لي حاجه كده البتاع ده بقى جميل جدا. يعني انتوا عارفين كل محاضره الاقيها جايه لي على الايميل متظبطه متبيضه والله. متبيضه. يعني يقول لي انا قلت ايه ورهف قالت ايه وملك قالت ايه. حاجه رائعه بقى البرنامج ده يعني بالاي اي ممتاز. بس المشكله لما بتكلم شويه عربي بيلخبط الدنيا هناك. لما بيتكلم كله انجلش. طب خليه لغايه ما يفتح النوتس كده. انا مش عارف فتح حاجه اسمها زوم ماي نوتس. انا كان في حاجة هنا انا متأكد كان فيها انوتيشن. فبالله عليك اديني الانوتيشن. اديني اللي كنت بعمل بيها انوتيشن. فين هي؟ مش عارف اجيبها. انا مش عارف حظكم النهارده وحش ليه. مش عارف اكتب. طيب هقول لرهف تاني. قولي يا سؤالك تاني يا رهف.
اللي هو امتى بنعمل سيمي كولون ترانزيشن كوما او العكس.
طيب ما انا هو لسه قايلها. احنا خلصنا السمبل سنتنس. لو جه في الاول هنحط كوما then the subject verb. لو جه ما بين السبجكت والفيرب هنحط الله 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 الله. تصدقوا بيعمل بيكتب ترانسكريبت اللي انا قاعد اقوله دلوقتي. طيب نبعته لكم ده تاني. If we have a simple sentence then and we have a transition, if it come in the beginning we put transition comma
لا
then the
مثلا.
subject verb. طب خلينا نكمل بقى. هو قاعد اكتب الراجل ده
بس
هتوقفيه ليه؟ ايوه ما هقولها. هو انت قلتي تو sentences ولا انا؟
انا اللي بقول يعني اللي هي ما بتكون ريليشن شيب ما بين ايه اللي كانت ريليشن شيب ما بين تو sentences عشان اعمل سيمي كولون ترانزيشن كوما او
لا انا
العكس.
بسألك على حاجة بس معينة لان كتب رهف هنا بتقول كذا. فهسألك بس على شيء. هو انتوا شايفين اللي انا شايفه؟ شايفين الترانسكريبت
اللي
اللي
هو ايه؟
قدامي؟
اه
يعني شايفين انا بقول ايه
يعني
وانتوا
ظهر
بتقولوا
لنا
ايه؟
transcription is on. لا
طيب
transcription is
ماشي.
on بس.
ماشي اوكي. طب انتوا ممكن تدوسوا عندكم وتشوفوا انا بقول ايه يعني. المهم ما تلعبوش دلوقتي انا بهزر معاكم. انا بس بعيد من الاول يا رهف لان عجبني الترانسكريبت فممكن اخده بعد كده نوتس يعني. ف if we have a simple sentence and the transition come in the beginning we put the transition comma subject verb. If it come in the middle so subject comma transition comma verb. If it come at the end يبقى subject verb comma transition. Example however comma I played يعني for example مثلا. لو في النص I however played يبقى I comma however play comma played. طيب لو كان في الآخر يبقى I played comma however. uh, if there are two sentences يا رهب بقى and the transition come in the middle. نركز يا رهب ها. transition come in the middle. So we have subject verb semicolon full stop or a comma fanboys then the transition then comma then subject verb. It's easy. المشكلة بقى مش هنا. المشكلة لو عندي 3 sentences. يا لهوي والله يا دكتور تامر This is the urgent problem that we have to take care of. ليه؟ Now he's gonna bring for you sentence 1, then sentence 2, then the transition, then sentence 3. Number 1 you have to ask yourself, is the transition connect sentence 2 and 3 or sentence 1 and 2. تخيلوا. لازم نسأل نفسنا الترانزيشن دوت connecting sentence 2 and 3 or sentence 1 and 2. ليه؟ لأن ال punctuation is gonna be completely different. If the transition connect sentence 2 and 3 هنبقى زي ما قلناها قبل كده الكومباوند اللي هو subject verb semicolon or full stop or comma fanboys transition comma subject verb. طب لو connecting sentence 1 and 2 وhowever جايب ما بين 2 and 3 في الحالة دي بعد sentence 2 هنحط كوما however. العكس بقى كنا في الأولانية مكان ما بين sentence 2 و 3 كنت حطيت قبل however semicolon full stop or comma fan boys وبعديها كوما. طب لو العلاقة ما بين sentence 1 and 2 وهي بعد sentence 2 او ما بين sentence 2 and 3 هنا بقى هنعكس. هنحط كوما قبل however او transition وبعديها هنحط full stop semicolon or comma fan boys. تمام. تمام يا
تمام.
رهف.
تمام.
اوكي. دي كانت مهمة بالنسبة لكم. نرجع تاني بقى للي احنا كنا بنقوله. مش راضي يرجع ليه. اهو رجع. اوكي. دومين 3 احنا قلنا transition اللي هم that is however moreover. فاحنا we have many functions او many domains of transitions لازم نحفظهم طبعا. So the first thing you have to find the function of each word. If you find two words that they have the same function, put them aside. Then look a sentence before and sentence after the blank to find the relation. Then you're gonna go to choose. الريتوريكال طبعا it has a goal. بيقول the students wants to كذا او احنا عاوزين كذا. So you start solving it immediately. If you find more than one answer that can be accepted, go to the bullets. ده كان كل شيء متعلقة بالفور دومينز. مفيش حاجة جاية بره اللي احنا قلناه. Nothing is new. وزي ما قلت لكم I know that we worked hard together. We did our best. The only thing that I want you after this session to work hard. Start solving more than يعني احنا دلوقتي هنحل. فانا عاوزكم تحلوا اكثر واكثر. تحلوا اكثر واكثر. لغايه ما قلنا يعني احنا ممكن لغايه صلاه الجمعه وبعد كده يعني ريلاكسيشن او صلاه الفجر وبعد كده ريلاكسيشن.